So when we look at the middle school lyrical etude this year, we want to note that it's marked piano at the beginning, but please don't start too softly. It's very important that you start more in the mezzo piano, or I would even say mezzo forte range, to make sure that you have a nice, comfortable starting dynamic at the beginning of this. And also, starting at sort of a more middle level dynamic leaves you a bit of room to play a bit louder if you needed to, but also you can taper the sound and temper the sound a little bit and play softer where it's appropriate. So a mezzo piano or even a mezzo forte is a nice baseline dynamic to start this etude. In the first 8 bars, you can really do some wonderful musical shaping if you crescendo up and down every 2 bars. So measure 1 crescendo, measure 2 decrescendo, measure 3 crescendo, measure 4 decrescendo, etc. There are places where, for example, measure 5, where it's marked not necessarily to do that, where you have a continuous crescendo. But I think just as a nice sort of structure to craft some phrasing, up a measure, down a measure, is terrific, at least as far as the first 4 bars is concerned. Be on the lookout for sudden dynamic changes that aren't brought on by a crescendo or decrescendo. So for example, measures 5 and 6 and measures 12 and 13. These measures are the same, 5 and 6 are the same, 12 and 13 are the same, but they have suddenly different dynamic changes. So you want to make sure, again, especially on the louder end, that you are really, really supporting the dynamic so that you have a comfortable way to sort of play an echo or to play it softer in the subsequent measure without the sound completely falling off. Don't overdo the articulations. So try for a nice legato tongue with all of the slurred passages. And then the notes that are marked with a tenuto can be a bit firmer, but you don't want to sort of segment your slurred articulations. Try to maintain a nice, even musical line with your airstream as you go through here. And the last thing I would say is don't diminuendo until after you arrive at the final note. Make sure that you save enough dynamic to make sure that those last 3 quarter notes are heard, and then you have some way to follow through with the final pitch. And that's where I would do my taper, on that last low B quarter note. So I hope you find these suggestions useful as you're preparing this etude. As always, you're welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions. Good luck.